All right, this is my second time recording this just today, and a couple days ago I tried re-recording. I tried recording this fucking video on EQ so many times, bro. Y'all don't understand. It's frustrating for me because that compression video was mad. It was easy. It was really easy. I don't know. I just knew what I wanted to do and I just did it. EQ as a whole this is a monster, okay? Who knows if it's even gonna help y'all? I don't even know if YouTube even helped me with mixing when I was younger. I'm not gonna lie. Anyways, you make sure you like the video, subscribe, and run this up. Also run this up for the prods whose beats I'm using as examples today. Let's talk about EQ. Now, my goal here is to kind of walk you through my thought process when I'm EQing anything. I'm gonna break down some really simple things about EQ for the super new people, so you just can understand what EQ is and why we use it. And then I'm gonna give you a couple other tools on the internet that I'm not sponsored by, and just like ways for you could practice. I think ear training is really, really important, on top of referencing, of course. But I think ear training is really, really important when it comes to EQ because if you're listening to a song or if you're listening to something that you're mixing and you're not able to hear. You hear this, you literally hear, I repeat the same things all the time. If you're not able to hear what it is you're doing, you're wasting your time. And the whole goal here is to be able to show you how to get a little bit better at hearing what it is that you're actually doing. Yeah, I was gonna definitely say something else, but I forget what it was. All right, so let's talk about EQ. What is EQ? Let's just start with that first. Like, what the hell is an EQ? EQ, equalizer, equalization. EQ is just volume control. It's turning volume up and turning volume down. But if I am turning up the volume of a signal, what is this? Okay, boom. If I'm turning up the volume of a signal, I'm turning up all of the frequencies. If I turn it down, I'm turning down all of the frequencies. Okay? Visually, I think visually it's okay to show you this too. Actually, that. I want to use EQ I like. And yes, I'm in FL today for you guys. But we are going to go to Pro Tools, I think, in a little bit too. But so like, boom, signal. If I'm going to turn this up, you're going to see all the frequencies get louder, right? And if I turn it down, boom, they get quieter. No shit, Corbin. Now, oh my God. Y'all could unsub for the fact that I just spoke in third person. Don't unsub, please. When it comes to EQ, the next step of EQ is understanding that it is volume control within just selected frequencies. You do it on frequencies that you want to do it on, not all of it, not the whole signal. And before I get into that, a signal, audio, everything that we can hear usually ranges from about 20 hertz to about 20,000 hertz or 20 kilohertz. So 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz is usually about what the normal hearing range of the human ear. We can't hear higher than 20,000. We really can't hear higher than like 16K, to be honest with you. And people who are like hard of hearing usually can't hear past like, this is as you get older, this is what happens. You get a low pass filter. The older you get until it's just all gone. And it'll get all muffled. This is what happens. This is what happens as you get older over the years. Once you start pushing the nice old age of 30. Now I'm playing. Not that young, but so when it comes to EQ is just playing with things in different ranges. Now, before I start actually playing with shit, I think this is the mistake I made in the last one that I was trying to do. Before I start messing with a bunch of things, I just want to show you how different sounds take up different frequencies. So like different, just everything that we hear and every sound that exists on planet Earth, everything just uses different frequencies. A frequency is just a representation of a vibration So, you know, I don't know how to explain that more in a way that's going to make sense, so I'm not going to confuse you too much. But different sounds use different frequencies. Let's just find, like, some drums first. Okay, boom, drums. Alright, so, like, we got some hi-hats and, like, these, like, this open hats here. Now... Just bring this over here. I'm not cutting this shit. I'm sorry, guys. You're gonna have to watch me fiddle with shit. So, when it comes to, like, this first thing here, this right here, you can see here, this is taking up these higher end frequencies, these treble frequencies. It's taking up about 1K all the way up to 10K. But hey, I see some shit bouncing around here too. What is this? If you listen really close, it kind of sounds like there's like a little cutting sound, like a little like, you can kind of hear that. And that's here. It's still here. Does that mean you should cut it out, even because the main thing is sitting here? I don't know. It's really up to you if you want to cut that out. So I'm just gonna tell you right now. That's how I approach things. You need to decide. There's nothing right or wrong. You need to decide whether or not you want that to be there, or you don't want that to be there. Sometimes it adds character. If there's, you know, I haven't played the whole beat together yet. I don't know how the producer actually processed this whole thing, but it might sound good. It might be exactly how he wants it to sound, or he might have just left it there on accident and probably would prefer to get rid of it the next time you know if he was to go back and EQ it. So like, you know, you might want to take that out. And looks, it gets rid of that. Bring it back. Turn it up here. You hear it? Just get rid of it. Now it's gone. I think I would get rid of that if I was working on a mix, right? I'll just get rid of it. It's just taking up space. And keep in mind, like, extra noise and shit, it does add up when you're working on a mix, and it can take up, it could give a feeling of things being a little less clean. So I would probably get rid of that if I was working on this mix, if this was my beat. By the way, shout out Max, M-A-C-K-S, by the way, is the way it's spelled. This is a pretty hard beat. He's one of our producers in MTM, and he sent these stems in for me to work on. So here's some hi-hats. Now I'm hearing a very similar low-end thing. Yeah, like I'm hearing like this like kind of pitter-patter on top of these hi-hats, right? I probably might cut that out, but I might not also. Sometimes that sounds really good when it's like over like a really hard-hitting 808. Sometimes it just sounds better than if you were to cut it out. So you have to listen and see. Do I want to take this out? Do I want to leave it? I'm not going to show you. I'm not going to turn everything on and show you whether or not I would leave it or not. I'm just showing you my thought process, okay? And that's what's important here, is how you're approaching, what you're thinking about when you're doing these things. Now, like, so those are some hi-hats, right? There's a clap. Let's see what the claps, let's see where the clap sits, you know, in these frequency ranges. I know claps are not as high and, like, tinny as hi-hats. It might be a little bit lower, kind of like a little more mid-rangey. I think they're going to be a little high-end, too. He has a little high-end. Oh, this thing claps pretty solid. It's got some thickness to it. It's got some thump you'll feel in your subs. But you know, maybe the beat is super crowded, or like the voice needs a place to sit, and this is all just taking up too much space. Maybe I might just like have it take up a little less space. But you gotta keep in mind, now if I'm taking things out, I'm taking life away from that clap. How much sacrifice are you willing to make? How much do you want to take away from the clap before you've taken away too much? Right? I've cleaned it up now, theoretically, but if I turn it off, now it cracks. Now it really sounds like it's cracking. So again, if I'm EQing out something like that, you just want to kind of keep that in mind. Is it helping or is it hurting? What am I trying to achieve here? Now, an 808, this is definitely an 808, right? Yep. So an 808 and all these bass frequencies and shit, they all sit really low, right? A lot of low-end frequencies here. That's where all that sub information is. This stuff right here, this is the stuff that you feel in your car. This is the stuff that makes the car shake, right? Just these low-end frequencies. If I was to cut out the low stuff and just leave the higher stuff, now you hear the 808, but you don't feel anything. There's no vibration. If you're in your car, you're not gonna feel any vibrating right now. You're just gonna hear it. There's no satisfaction from that 808. So we need those low end frequencies in that bass, in that 808. I'm gonna just take this right back to where it was. But keep in mind, there is some high end information here. There is some air, and that air adds a character to it. It adds something to it. It's doing something to the song, to the beat. I'm assuming, you know, if I take it out, now there's a lot less of it. If I bring it back, now it sounds a little more present. Maybe I want it to be more present. Maybe I want it to be heard more and felt less. You know? Now it's heard more and felt less. Maybe I want it to be felt more and heard less. So that's what I would do if I wanted that. Now let's go to these melodies. This is the one I had open before, right? Different EQ. That's fine though. This melody right here, sitting in these, it's a lot of high-end information. There's not much lower than 250. Well, 250 is pretty low. It's very important also to understand the numbers. And like what you're doing here now. Like I'm like looking at this EQ visually. It's very dangerous. I really should be doing this with an EQ that you can't see what it is that you're doing. But well, we're already here, and we're pretty deep into this one. I think I like the way this is going, so this might be the video I use. Anyways, all I'm trying to say is that it's important you understand, like, okay, this is what boosting at 500 feels like. This is what boosting at 4K feels like. This is what boosting at 16K feels like with a 2.0 Q. With a 2.0 Q at 2K. Now if I make it really wide, this is what it sounds like here at 2K with a 0.5. It's just important you pay attention to these things. Don't just start doing things willy-nilly and not be able to explain what it is that you just did. But yeah, as you can see, that synthesizer kind of sits in its own place. I'm not gonna make any adjustments to anything. I'm not changing anything. These all sound fine on their own. Oh, here's another interesting test real quick. Test. I don't know. It's not really a test, but let me just ask you all a question real quick. It's like a trick question. Listening to my voice right now on this microphone. Okay. So the reason I'm about to ask you this question is to kind of get into the next like section of this video. If you listen to you're listening to my voice right now on this microphone, can you tell me if you would EQ it? The answer is probably no. You don't know. There is no answer. You're not EQing my voice right now. It's just me. It's just me talking on the microphone. There's no music. I'm not like rapping on a beat, and you're not trying to like fit my voice into a beat right now. There's no need for that. There's no need for EQ. I mean, like if you really wanted to, maybe make it a little brighter, make my voice a little more present, use a little compression to like smooth it out. And I actually think I actually have a compressor on my voice, but that's not the point. It doesn't matter. You don't need it. It's just my voice. EQ is not going to do anything for you here in a technical aspect. In a technical aspect, if I wanted to EQ my voice for creative sense, and make it sound a little thinner and a little bit higher end, I think you could if you wanted to, but you don't need to. It's not. I don't think that's a technical thing. That's just a silly creative choice. It's a little unnecessary for making a video. Unnecessary might be the wrong word. Somebody's gonna criticize me for that. Regardless, it sounds fine. That's all I'm trying to say. My voice sounds fine right now. But if I threw on a beat, I might have trouble cutting through. And so to get into the next thing that I'm gonna try and like show to you, do I have this other session open? Do I have a session open? Oh, I do. Bet. Okay. So here's some Pro Tools now. Your favorite. Here's a song. This is when Mally Smith came for an In the Booth. Some of his videos on our YouTube already.
Put it in the back. Hey, put it on reverse. Hey, she gon' put it on reverse. Hey,
saving a new version.
Hey, she gon' she gon' put it in reverse. Ass looking fat, she got my hand up on her skirt. I don't give a f about whoever it first. Cause when it couldn't walk, I'ma make that shit work. Baby love, yes I did. I was getting money while you out here making kids. I was while you.
All right, go get that shit when it drops. This is also probably gonna drop in January. Oh, if a song that I was working on video, Kura songs are dropping. That look, okay, so look at that. What am I doing on this beat?
I was getting money while you out here making kids. I was while you niggas taking bids. I was in your baby mama, had my dick up in her.
Interesting. I don't know how this sounds on the speakers in the car. I don't mix on my headphones. I never mix on my headphones. I'm literally just using it for the video for the sake of not having like bleed through the speakers coming through the microphone. So I am not gonna work on this mix necessarily right now. I just opened this song because I like it. So let's EQ here. I'm gonna show you what I'm doing here and why I'm doing it. And we're gonna solely talk about EQ. So let me just turn the beat off. Now, if I turn the beat off and I turn everything that has to do with EQ off.
Hey, she gonna put it in reverse. Ass looking fat, she got my hand up in her skirt. I don't give a f about whoever hit it first.
If you close your eyes, you probably would tell me the voice sounds fine. I think the voice sounds fine. It sounds clean. It's a clean recording. We have a great microphone. Mally Smith is a great performer. He's good at recording into the microphone, so I know I have a good signal here. Sounds clean. It sounds fine. If I was just listening to his voice, I would listen to it just like this.
Hey, she gonna put it in reverse. Ass looking fat, she got my.
But EQ is a tool that we use to make things fit together. That's what I use EQ for. Other people probably use EQ for other things, but that's what I use EQ for. Listen to me, not the other guys. Just kidding, kind of. So let's just go through some of the EQs. I've got Pro Q. This is the first one, and we've got a little cut here at 368, minus 2.5 decibels.
Hey, she gonna put it in reverse. Ass looking fat, she got my hand up in her skirt. I don't give a fuck about whoever hit it first. Cause when it couldn't walk, I'ma make that shit work. Baby love, yes I did. I was getting money while you out here making kids. I was while you niggas taking bids. I was in your baby mama, had my dick up in her ribs. Now these niggas getting tender and they started calling dibs. I cool. I was trapping out the
Let me turn it back on again. Let me show you what I'm taking out.
It was dicey. She was kind of popping on the ground, kind of hikey. She ain't even text me. The pussy wasn't.
Yo, I hate when videos of EQ will be like, oh, by the way, yo, I'm not gonna lie to you. Let me tell you something right now. I've never done this a day in my life. Don't listen to engineers that tell you to do this shit, okay? Trust me. I'm telling y'all, trust me. Do not listen to engineers that do this.
Hey, she gonna put it in reverse. Ass looking fat, she got my hand up in her skirt.
Like, oh, let's find the bad frequency.
Hit it first, cause when
it all sounds bad. It all sounds bad when I'm sitting here going like this.
Hey, she gonna put it in reverse.
Yeah, I want to take all of it out when I do that. I want to take this out. I want to take it all out.
Cause when it couldn't walk,
motherfucker, don't do no search and destroy. Such a dumb method. It does nothing for your signal. If you can't hear what it is that you need to take out before doing this, if you can't just listen to the vocal and the beat and be like, okay, it's thick, I need to make it thinner. It's too thin, I need to make it thicker and punchier more. If you can't hear that, don't do none of this.
Hey, she gonna put it in reverse.
Dumb shit ever, bro. Any engineer that tells you to do that has not been doing this shit long enough, bro. Now,
hey,
if you got an EQ that looks like this, oh my goodness, bro. Fire your engineer, go to a new studio. As a matter of fact, I charge $150 per mixes. Sounds like a lot, but if you want to invest in yourself and get a really good mix, I will get you the best mixes you could get. All right, anyways, I'm done talking shit. So boom, I hear this and I know I need to thin it out a little bit. I personally like to do EQ, compression, DS, and I like to do those three things in stages. And I don't like to just try and do it all at once. So I'll do a little bit of, I'll do a couple movements. What was this at? This was, let me set this back the way it was. Boom. So I had this like this.
Hey, she gonna put it in
Anyways,
reverse.
I know I'm just trying to take some of this out right now. So I took some of it out.
I don't give a f about whoever hit it first. Cause when it couldn't walk, I'm gonna make that shit work. Baby love, yes I did. I was getting money while you out here making.
Now, let me turn everything back on real quick.
Hey, she gonna put it in reverse. Ass looking fat, she got my hand up in her skirt. I don't give a fuck about whoever hit.
So that's what I'm trying to get to, right? I'm trying to get something a little more clearer that is a little more thin and a little bit more up front. Everything I just turned back on did that for me, but now let me turn it off again.
Hey, she gon' put it in reverse.
Not there anymore. So after my first EQ and I cut that out, I go into my compressor, shout out my video on compression settings, then I do some de-essing.
Hey, she gon' put it in reverse. Ass looking fat, she got my hand up on her skirt.
This de-esser's just catching some de-essing. We'll do a whole nother video on de-essing for you.
Hey, she gon' put it in reverse. Ass looking fat, she got my hand up.
So then I do another boost here. I love the Ptech. It's just a very classic EQ. For something about it, it just sounds really good when you push these higher frequencies, in my opinion.
Hey, she gon' put it in reverse.
Turn it off again.
Ass looking fat, she got my hand up on her skirt. I don't give a fuck about whoever hit it first. Cause when it come and walk, I'ma make that shit work. Baby love, yes I did. I was getting money while you out here making kids. I was fucking bitches while you niggas taking bids. I was in your baby mama, had my dick up in her ribs. Now these niggas.
So what am I doing? You're probably looking at all these knobs like, what's going on? Boosting, I have about I have it at 5 at 12K, 12,000 hertz. At about a bandwidth of 3, a little bit under 3. And what this is doing, it's doing this. So what did I say? Where's it doing it at? 12K, 5. So this is what it's doing. It's doing this. 12K is like right around here. 12. So this is what it's doing, but not that much. It's doing by like probably like 4 or 5. And it's just doing a push. It's doing a push like this. It's just pushing up. It's just pushing up these higher frequencies up here. So let's go back. So that's what this is doing. So you're gonna hear that brightness come in again. Now listen for those higher frequencies.
Hey, she gon' put it in reverse. Ass looking fat, she got my hand up in her skirt. I don't give a fuck about whoever hit it first. Cause when it come and walk, I'ma make that shit work. Baby love, yes I did. I was getting money while you out here making kids. I was fucking bitches while you niggas taking bids. I was in your baby mama, had my dick up in her ribs.
Gets a little bit louder. It just gets a little bit more present, and the thinness goes away just a tiny bit. A little more compression, and then I have this right here. This is a tube emulator thing, but the reason I turned it off is because I do a 1 dB boost on this like tone thing, and this just adds a little bit more to it.
Hey, she gon' put it in reverse. Ass looking fat, she got my hand up on her skirt. I don't give a fuck about whoever hit it first. Cause when it come and walk, I'ma make that shit work. Baby love.
Really, I should bring this down a little bit for the sake of just hearing the change. It sounds like I just turned it louder, so hold on.
Hey, she gon' put it in reverse. Ass looking fat, she got my hand up in her skirt. I don't give a fuck about whoever hit it first.
Okay, now it sounds more. So now the volume is the same when I turn it on and off, but the tonal quality and perception changes a little bit. So just listen for how it goes from a little bit darker to brighter.
Hey, she gon' put it in reverse. Ass looking fat, she got my hand up in her skirt. I don't give a fuck about whoever hit it first. Cause when it come and walk, I'ma make that shit work. Baby love, yes I did. I was getting money while you out here making kids. I was fucking bitches while you niggas taking bids. I was in your baby mama, had my dick up in her ribs. Now these niggas getting tender and they started calling dibs. I cool, fuck it, I was out the crazy. Couldn't fuck her friend, so I said fuck it, it was dicey. She was kinda popping on the ground, kinda hikey. She ain't even text me, the pussy wasn't pricey. Bad bitch, I'ma have to.
Now I'm gonna undo what I just did with the volume and shit, just so it's where I want it. Now and then this is my kind of my final EQ is a subtractive and sometimes I do boosting and cutting. There's no like, oh, you should only boost on your first EQ and then cut on your last. Like I don't give a about the rules or whatever you think that you should be doing. This is what I'm doing on this voice because it's what I wanted. And the goal of my final EQ is always to take all of these little adjustments that I did with EQ, compression, de-essing, everything, and then bring it all in a way that fits into this beat. Now, I'm going to tell y'all right now, this song is not mixed or finished. I'm just telling y'all what I did here, and I'm still going to approach it the same exact way when I do go to finish mixing it.
Hey, she gon' put it in reverse. Ass looking.
Now, this is more dramatic than anything else. So you're gonna notice. So we've got this little cut here, in these lower frequencies around 250 was 310, and then we got this push here. Those are the two main things that are happening. I don't think anything else is actually doing anything. Yeah, I don't have anything else going on. So we just have this cut here. This is taking out these low end frequencies.
Looking fast, she got my hand up in her.
And just pushing up these high ones.
Fuck about whoever hit it first. Cause when it couldn't walk, I'ma make that shit work. Baby love, yes I did. I was getting money while you out here making kids. I was fucking bitches while you niggas taking bids. I was in your baby mama, had my dick up in her ribs. Now these niggas getting tender and they started calling dibs. I cool, fuck it, I was trapping out the crisis.
So because this is a dynamic EQ, you can also kind of have it compress this frequency range and change the dynamics. Let me not go into that too much. It'll be a whole nother tangent. But basically, yeah, it's compressing these frequencies as well. That's why you see it bouncing up and down. So it's actually kind of smoothing out that high end while also boosting it. It's boosting it. If I just boosted it and only boosted it, it would just make the S's harsher. It'd bring that brightness up. But this is making it more consistent as well.
Hey, she gon' put it in reverse. Ass looking fat, she got my hand up in her skirt. I don't give a about whoever hit it first. Cause when it couldn't walk, I'ma make that shit work. Baby love, yes I did. I was getting money while you out here making kids. I was fucking bitches while you niggas taking bids. I was in your baby mama, had my dick up in her ribs. Now these niggas getting tender and they started calling dibs.
Yeah, and that just cleans it up. Now, all of this stuff I just showed you with the beat off. I'm not showing you this with the beat on. I'm not going through everything again with the beat on. But basically, all these little changes were to add up to a vocal that fits in there just a little bit more. I could have just done this all in one EQ if I really wanted to, but it's very methodical. It's very, you know, you got to keep in mind when I do my signal chain for a vocal, I start from the beginning every single time. I start with no EQ. There's nothing here. There's nothing on it when I start. Like, these plugins are on, but they're all at default settings with nothing changed about them yet. So I start here and I listen and I go,
hey, she gon' put it in reverse.
Okay, let's make it a little brighter first. And then I go, okay, let's compress it. And then I go, okay, let's take the S's out a little bit. And then I'm like, okay, let's boost it a little more. And I'm like, okay, now let's smooth it out. It doesn't sound very consistent yet. Now it's a lot smoother. And then I'm like, okay, let's brighten it up a little bit more again.
Hey, she gon' put it in reverse. Ass looking fat, she got my hand up on her skirt.
Okay, let's de-S it now. We're doing a lot of pushing in the high end. So let's de-S it. Let's clean up those S's.
I was getting money while you out here making kids. I was fucking bitches while you niggas taking bids.
Very little.
Baby mama had my dick up in her rib. Now these niggas getting tender and they.
I'm like, all right, let's fit it in a little bit more, especially on the speakers. I can definitely tell even in my headphones that it's gonna be a little boomy. So let's take that out.
She gon' put it in reverse.
Let's fit it in there.
She got my hand up on her skirt.
Now I'm making all these adjustments, and in my mind, I'm also like, okay, what's something that's mixed good? Or like, I guess I am kind of like thinking, like, okay, this low-key is, it's a jerk beat though. It's not really Osama-san type shit. It's like Xavier, but like Xavier and Nespen have terrible mixes. Actually, well, Nespen has good mixes. Actually, no. I'm not going to show you a song. But I do have, okay, this is a jerk beat. This is, you know, he's approaching it this way. But on this on these types of beats, like the vocal's a little bit thinner. It's a little bit more like high-end presency. And so that's how I'm thinking about how I want it to sound in my head. That's how I know, that's how I'm thinking in my head about where the vocal is and where I want to take it. And that's what's making me make these decisions about how I want the vocal to sit in the beat. I'm not making the vocal sit this way in the beat because somebody just told me to in my mind. I'm not just making it up, and I'm not like I basically have an image of it in my head based on past references, me knowing, you know, how these genres kind of sound, what's going to get us the best results in terms of loudness and all those things. Sorry, my Discord notifications are off. What's going to get us the best, you know, results and things. And I know that in my mind, and that's why I'm making the changes I'm making. That's why I'm constantly taking out more in the low end, pushing more in the highs here, because that's just because I know that's the direction I want to go, and that's the direction I want to make it sound, because I want it, I want it thinner, and I know I want it brighter, so that it makes sense for this genre and for this beat. So when you're approaching these types of things, when you're approaching when you're approaching EQ, it's not just, oh, what's the right answer? You need to know in your heart and in your mind and in your soul, literally, how you want it to feel. It's the same thing when it comes to compression, right? When we were talking about compression, it's, oh, do I want this vocal to feel punchy? Do I want it to punch and feel like crunchy and distorted? Or do I want it to feel smooth? And do I want it to like glide, right? That's, and a compressor and the settings that you use on a compressor will get you to those results depending on how you use it. With EQ, it's the same thing. It's the same approach, at least. It's the same, have an image in mind and use the tools that you have at your disposal to get there. Now, that's with a vocal. I just showed you a bunch of stuff with a vocal. I showed you also, I did break down some individual pieces of some beats and like what sits where, and you know, how you might want to clean things up or just, you know, how you might want to make things sound. Let me know if you want me to dive in a little bit more to a beat next time. I think I did have other beats here, but I think I'm just going to do it the way I did it. We're already pushing 30 minutes and I'm not chopping this shit up. Oh, the last thing I wanted to show you is, this is going to be really fast. This is not a sponsor, but I will take a sponsor if you want to give it to me. Our best engineer on YouTube, Corbwtf. This is a website called Sound Gym. There's a million websites like this. There's also, you could literally also just go on YouTube and type in like EQ ear training. And this is EQ ear training. Any type of ear training in general is a great way to familiarize yourself with how different things sound, right? So like, you know, you could, there are other ways to like, there are other ear training things for like width and volume of reverb. They have so many things here, but like if I go into games, right, on this website, this is called Sound Gym. What, I can't do like one game real quick. I'm not about to show you this, but like you can, it'll if I go
want you
here,
to listen to this audio clip before and after.
Shout out this guy.
An EQ boost centered at 4 kilohertz.
Boom. So okay, I'm not gonna watch the whole video, of course, but this is what they'll do. They'll you know, turn things up and turn it down, and then later on in the video, I think you have to kind of guess what's how things sound. Kind of, but like, you know, they'll turn things up and turn them down, and you would have to, you know, there are videos on YouTube at least like this where like, you know, they'll take a song or they'll take white noise and they'll turn shit up and you'll guess like, oh, that's 500 hertz, and then boom, they'll tell you the answer, and if you got it right, you're doing pretty good. If you didn't get it right, then you got to keep training, and you got to keep training your ears to see what different frequencies sound like. You could do the same thing with compression. There's other things with like stereo width, like, oh, how wide is something, how narrow is something. There's a lot of really good ear training things out there. Sound Gym is one of them, though. I used to use Sound Gym while I was in school. Yeah, I just recommend you kind of look into these things, because you got to do it. You got to do it consistently. Part of my stutters, but I think this was, did I just talk really fast and think that this came out good? I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Please make sure that you sub, like, comment. I really appreciate your guys' support. We are actually about to hit 2,000 subs on the channel, and that was just from the one video. And I really appreciate you guys' support, because this is what I do full time. Like, I do this music ever, and I'm gonna be doing it forever for y'all. So if y'all like these videos, please let me know, and show some love, because I'm trying to get the fuck out of here. Let me know what y'all want next. Love y'all. Peace.